Hey Scorpio, it's Empress Rose here. Welcome to your reading. These are general readings, so we take what works, leave what doesn't. As with everything, if I don't catch your wavelength on this one, go check your other major placements. We are starting out with my monster oracle deck of Moonology and Work Your Light, and then we're going to move on to my brand new deck by Catrin Welz-Stein, her Tarot of Mystical Moments deck. So we know that often here I use my Oracle of Mystical Moments deck, but now she came out with a tarot deck and I'm crazy about it. It's so beautiful. So, and if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button. Please do so. It helps other people find the channel and it also makes me happy. Gives me a little thrill. All right. What do we have here for Scorpio this week? Okay. What do you have for Scorpio? Okay. No, that's too many. Is that too many? That's too many. Okay, this one came out. Oh my God, that's way too many. We'll take the top and we'll take the bottom. Okay. If you wanted me to get a better message, you should have just given me the number of cards that can hit me. Okay. All right, new moon in Virgo, a time to give rather than take. So this has the time signature on it, which means there's something fairly current, or I wouldn't say urgent, but I always pay attention to that. It seems to me, in my experience, that it means that there's something going on right now. There's a time critical thing or something to pay attention to right now. Time to give rather than take. So sometimes this is about giving, but often it's about what energy you're bringing to a situation, what you're bringing to the situation, what you're bringing to the party, so to speak, what you're bringing, how you're presenting yourself, what you're bringing. Do you need to bring some more planned energy? It's new moon in Virgo, so there might be a little bit of planning or organization. So it is. It's about at this time. What are you bringing to the situation? What energy? What your gifts are that you're bringing into it. So it's time to think about that. There's a new situation. It's a new moon. So you're thinking about the role you're going to play and the energy you're going to bring and the way you're going to start this thing off. And then we have pillar of light here. Your vibration is rising. You are the oracle. So there's something that you need to say or you need to talk about. And again, we're talking about vibes here. So I really do think I'm starting to see that this new moon in Virgo, there's something that's beginning here and you need to be very much paying attention to the vibe you're bringing to it and the words you're using and the way you're framing it and that whole thing. You have a lot of power and a lot of say here to frame the way this whole situation goes by your attitude, your vibe, your words, and what you bring to the situation. Remember that phrase, you can only get out of it what you put into it? Well, one, that's bullshit because I have put a lot of good energy into things in my life and have not gotten nearly what I put into it out of it. So that's bullshit. That's not a rule. But it's harder to get something good out of a situation if you don't bring your good energy. There have been situations where bringing shit energy isn't going to improve the situation. So you might as well just bring your best, even though, I'm thinking of a particular work situation where other people were having crazy attitudes, crazy ego, crazy just nuts, but I'd already committed to doing the project and I didn't feel like I could back out. So what did I do? You just, before you enter the situation, you think about your attitude, your vibe. Isn't going to change the whole situation, but it's certainly not going to make it better to come in with a bad attitude or come in with negativity and nastiness. It won't improve anything. So just be taking responsibility for your vibe. That's all you can really do. You can't take responsibility for other people's vibes. You can't change a whole situation. Well, you can, but you don't get to choose which situations you're going to be able to change by your maintaining your highest positivity and your best vibe. And then we have mirror. This is interesting though, because this is talking about possibly what you bring is going to be mirrored back to you. So, so this could be talking about a situation where you bring the positive vibe, you bring the high vibe, you bring the healthy, positive communication, and it could end up being mirrored back to you. This could be one of those situations where it does affect other people. Sometimes it doesn't, sometimes it does. So, but who it really affects is you. But there's also a part of this mirroring of like, yeah, it's your vibe. What are you bringing to the situation? Because it's mirroring, it's getting, this is one of the situations where it's getting mirrored back to you, or it has the potential to get mirrored back to you. What do you want mirrored back at you? Something triggering you, needing a witness. But I feel like it's more like it is. I was just talking about situations that are out of our control where we can't. It's not necessarily going to be mirrored back at us, but we still have a responsibility to bring our highest vibes and our best communication skills to any situation, whether or not it does get mirrored back to us. But this seems to be indicating that, you know, really think about like what energy would you like mirrored back at you? What energy, what communication would you like mirrored back at you? What communication style would you like? Because it seems like that's an important part of this question and the situation that you're facing, is that there's that potential that you do get to create. You do get to set the vibe, not just your own internal vibe, but the vibe for the whole situation. All right. All right, Scorpio, what do we have here? This is your past, your present, your inner landscape. What's the issue, your environment, your to-do list, and your possible outcome. Oh my gosh, Libra just got this exact to-do list. This is so beautiful. I could just get lost here, but I'm going to try not to. Stay focused. In your recent past, you have this Eight of Cups. This emotional new beginning, something starting, the intention set, right? There's that intention, that vibe, that intention has been set, is being set. There's an intention, an emotional new beginning, a releasing. Something, some sort of emotional joy or happiness, or the intention for fulfillment having been, that intention having been set, having been released, I want to say, into the world. You have come with a pure intention, or somebody here has come, some sort of new beginning has begun, and some sort of pure intention for a beautiful, fulfilling, ride here has been set, has been released, has been not released as in like thrown away, but released as in like go out into the universe, and this message of love, or this intention bursting forward from the heart. Of what a pure, beautiful, emotional intention. I'm still stumbling over my words with this deck because it's so, I'm still getting to know it a little bit. So, and then in your current situation, you have Three of Wands. You can see something like this intention, this beautiful intention of the heart, this pure, beautiful intention of the heart has been set, has been sort of initiated. And then we have this Three of Wands with this faith, this vision, this visionary beginning. And the Three of Wands looks so emotional here. It looks about communication. It's about intuition. It's about seeing, I think, starting to see the fruits of your labors. This intention was set out, and starting to see the ships come in, having a vision, a far-reaching vision towards the future of what's coming, what this potential was, what this burst of energy, almost like I don't want to say love. Thank you, phone, for reminding me to update. I appreciate that. So, but it's like if you can imagine a mushroom cloud of love and positivity and purity. And so we've got this initial boom, and now that's this Ace of Cups here. And then the current situation is that you can see where this is all going. You can see the ramifications. You can see you're having a moment of faith and positivity and really being able to see where this all could go and how this all could unfold. And with such confidence, with such surety of everything that this could bring in, this really strong intuition or understanding or vision of what's been begun, what's happened here. And then what's interesting is in your hopes and fears, your inner landscape is the Six of Swords. There's a darkness that you're hopeful that you can move away from, that there's a negativity and a pain and a darkness that your heart is asking you to move on from, to move forward from. And where we go, how we get there, nobody knows, it doesn't matter, because it's this call, it's this desire to move away from negativity, to move away from an extremely painful, dark period of time of your life, and it's that soul calling you forward, calling you away from that. So you may have released sort of this intention, this pure, bright intention of emotional connection out into the world. You may be seeing where it could all go, but there's this hope that you can leave this negativity behind, leave some sort of painful situation, painful way of seeing things possibly. This painful situation, leaving it behind, that's in your hopes. Maybe it's your fears too. Maybe you're afraid that this vision, this beautiful thing in your future that you can see, maybe you're afraid of what it means for something from your past that you've been very attached to, that's had you very anchored down and very connected. You've been very connected to this one place, but it's a place of sorrow, and you could be both afraid of leaving it and eager to leave that place behind, because obviously the unknown, the uncertainty and the unknown, for whatever stupid reason we humans can't handle it, that unknown, it's terrifying. But where you've been is more painful. So you're hopeful that you can move away from a painful situation. Maybe it's a painful interaction with somebody, and maybe you're hoping that you can start anew with this situation, and bringing in this positivity and this. I love this Ace of Cups here with this Pillar of Light card. There's just so much light and positivity. So, but there's this negative place, and you may not want to head off into the unknown. And you may be worried about this future that that you can see from where you're standing right now, and that you're confident. You may be worried about, oh shit, now I've got to change some things in my life, and I've got to let some things go and leave some negative things in the past if I'm going to be able to go towards this future, which I can totally see now. What have I got to? I'm going to have to leave something behind. So what's at issue is reverse strength. You don't think you're strong enough. There's not a lot of inner calm. There's not a lot of inner peace. There's no patience. You maybe just don't have patience for this process, because you're seeing there's a negative, I got to move on. I got to this is ooh, gosh, I really want to live in that apartment, as a metaphor, right? I really want to live in that house or that apartment. And then you're like, that crap, I'd have to move. I'd have to get rid of this place. I'd have to sell this place. I'd have to pack everything up. I don't really want to do that. I'm afraid of that, but I do see that I'd like something else. I'd like something better, and I see that it's possible. But there's not. There's something here that lacks patience, lacks inner strength, lacks serenity. That inner beast is trampling all over and being a little bit ferocious and a little bit impatient. The lion. Oh man, it looks like my Captain Jack. Except if the lion were black, that's exactly what he does when I'm doing a reading. But there's no, we're not feeling that inner strength. We're feeling maybe too weak, too tired to start again, start anew, to bring in this light, to change the tone, to leave this place of darkness and to move. I mean, what she's seeing is far off in the distance, and you may not have the patience or the inner fortitude, or you may not feel like you do right now to go all that distance. And then in your environment, you have the Emperor. So there's questions, there's something in your environment about control, about who's in control, who's in charge, who has the power. Here, somebody having control or feeling this divine right to rule. There's some part of the situation around you. The control seems to be external to you. It could be an institution, actually. This isn't the Hierophant card, but there's still a prominently depicted institution here. There could be somebody else has a lot more say, has all the say, it feels like, can control the situation, orchestrate the situation. This is not you. You may not be feeling, well, you're feeling weak. You're feeling weak, and it's because it could be because there's someone else who's much stronger, who's actually in control, has all the say. Or there's some part of the situation that has the power and the control and has much more, you feel like it has much more say than you do. This could be about, what are you bringing to this situation? What are you bringing, and when I was giving that example of a work situation, I wasn't in charge of it. I was a little peon in the project, and I wasn't in charge of the vibe. I wasn't in charge of any of it. I just knew that, somebody else was the emperor there. All I knew is that I could only do what I could do. I could only bring my best self into this, because my worst self wasn't going to help anything. So it wasn't going to improve the situation. My best self wasn't going to improve the situation, but at least I was doing what I could and wasn't making it worse. So there's someone else here. You may be a little peon in this situation, and the power and the control to change the dynamic, to make it less painful and less difficult. That could be up to somebody else here. And then we have Three of Pentacles. This is your to-do list, building something solid, something beautiful, but it has to do with teamwork. It has to do with maybe a work team or a team of professionals, calling in a professional to help you with a situation. This is making sure you're relying on your known entities that you can trust, and bringing in other professionals, people really working together to build something beautiful. And you're relying on and what I mean by professionals, people that know what they're doing, not your electrician that's like got certification, your journeyman electrician. You're relying on that person, not, your brother's best friend who knows his way around a few wires here. This situation calls for some sort of professional assistance or some sort of team. So your uncle may be a journeyman electrician, so that's fine to bring him in, but your brother's best friend that's, maybe done a few things and is like 20, not that you can't be, an expert at anything when you're 20, just as a, So you can get non-paid help, but just make sure that the team is competent and the team can work together. So teamwork. This is about teamwork, and I'm getting such a vibe of like you coming to some sort of team, bringing your best energy, your best communication skills to the team, and making sure that the part that you play, again, like just where we started here, the part that you play in this team is positive, and your vibe, you're bringing your vibe, you're bringing your energy, you're bringing your best self, your best communication to the team. So working together as a team, that's your job, that's your to-do list, even though it may not be going very well right now. Your job is to play your part, do your role in this team. You're not in charge of it, but you've got a part to play here. Where you're going is Six of Pentacles. Six of Pentacles fascinates me. There's a calculated risk here, or calculated investments of time and money, and maybe it's a little imbalanced right now or for a time period, but the intention is to keep the flow moving, keep things balanced. The scales they're not static, right? When we talk about Libra scales, which are here, you know, the whole thing about getting something even is this back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and then you can get it more even. It's not this static, like, it's even, it's straight, let's leave it. It's this balancing act, and giving and taking and keeping it moving as we get closer to balance and closer to equity. So there's some sort of calculated risk here, or calculated balancing out. So maybe at this particular moment, things may look a little out of balance, but it's in the service of getting things in balance and more evenly distributed time, work, money. This has such a strong work vibe to me. So yeah, overall, we see some sense of weakness, some lack of strength, lack of patience, and we see. So what you're dealing with is maybe a lack of patience, a lack of strength, a weakness here, and yet a strength. Like, we have this weakness, and yet we have this strength. So maybe you're dealing with powerlessness, while somebody else has a lot of power. And this is saying, like, you can only control what you can control, which is your vibe, your communication skills, being part of this team, and allowing something to flow a little bit back and forth, and not being very bean county of, you get one drop of tea, you get one drop of tea. It's like, well, I'm going to pour some tea into this cup, and then I'm going to pour some tea into this cup, but I'm not going to do one drop back and forth. So there may be something that's getting evened out here, some sort of more equitable distribution of something coming towards you in the future. But right now, your job is just to be a member of the team, a contributing member of the team. All right. Let's do some wild Kuan Yin here for a little bit, for a last little message. Put a little button on this reading. That's too many. Oh, okay, now you don't want to give me anything because I didn't take. Okay. Ooh, I like it. Topsy-turvy energy on your path. Unpredictable grace. It's not lack of courage that makes you question the path before you sometimes. It is uncertainty. There's no need to doubt, just steps to take one after the other. And as you do this, all can then unfold as it must with the blessing of my powerful, if unpredictable grace. So, unpredictable outcomes possibly. All right, Scorpio, I hope that was helpful for you, and I hope you have a happy new year.